We now transition to the presentation of the 2019 Missouri State Teacher of the Year. Shelly Parks is a 16-year educator, 10th through 12th grade English teacher at Francis Howell North High School in the Francis Howell R2 School District. Ms. Parks' primary inspiration for teaching was her mother, a 40-year classroom teacher. She watched her work at concession stands, supervise Saturday school, help homebound students, and sponsor the drama club, while also juggling multiple part-time jobs before and after a full day of teaching. By rights, she states, she shouldn't have been my inspiration for teaching. I should have seen a tired, having to work multiple jobs to make ends meet teacher. But instead, I saw a woman who loved students and loved going to work. I was hooked, and I still am. If you discount Ms. Parks' early teaching to her stuffed animals in the basement, her teaching career actually began in Bucharest, Romania, in a rundown church next to a brothel. She taught in a non-air-conditioned, tiny partitioned room, teaching English using the Bible as her text. The days were long, hot, and exhausting, but her students were hungry for knowledge. This experience solidified her desire to teach and confirmed what her mother had already modeled for her. Ms. Parks believes that her greatest accomplishment is to equip students to find their own passion, providing the support to allow them to achieve their goals. Another accomplishment of which Ms. Parks is proud is her efforts to pass along her love for education to colleagues and to previous students. 4 of her former students currently teach high school English. One is now a colleague and is one of the top 13 rookie journalism teachers in the nation. Another she mentors many Saturday mornings. In addition, 3 of her student teachers now teach in their own successful classrooms, and she was even able to hire one of them. As the department chair, she supports colleagues and provides them with access to resources to enable them to be the best they can be in their own classrooms. She enjoys brainstorming with them and coaching them as needed. Ms. Parks is a national board certified teacher, has written curriculum for numerous courses, won awards for teaching, and has presented on a number of professional development opportunities. However, she states, empowering others is the greatest contribution I have made to education. I view my job simply as an opportunity to encourage and to equip others to reach their goals.
I had a mom, and she just now this year retired after 40 years in education. So naturally, she was an inspiration. I also got to teach in Romania. I got to teach English in Bucharest, Romania, and I got to do that in college. But it was so powerful to me that these people would stand in the heat for hours to spend 30 minutes of their day reading with me. And so just how much they longed for knowledge and how much they wanted to learn, and the thought that I could help them get that totally sealed the deal for me. I feel like the thing that I feel super passionately about is, well, research shows that an effective teacher is the most important component for student achievement. What my hope would be is that I could make the teaching profession a more desirable career and just share the joy that I feel every day in our career. This career, it takes me from home, sometimes for sure, but that it is something to be proud of. If you're not in education, it's hard to know those lasting memories you make, those serendipitous moments where you think somebody looks rough on the exterior and then you have this breakthrough moment and they're awesome. These stories about kids doing amazing things, that is awesome. So that is the message that people need to be sharing about public education. And I think if you can impact lives in a small way, those kids get a good taste in their mouth about public education, then they hopefully go into public education, but if not, they're sending their kids and their supportive parents, and the cycle continues.
Ladies and gentlemen, our 2019 State Teacher of the Year, Ms. Shelly Parks.
Thank you so much for this honor and for allowing me a few minutes to speak tonight. So I want to just jump right in. I love this graphic, and I know it's a little hard to see, so I'll talk you through some of it. But essentially, it shows the long-lasting effect on students as a result of being in the classroom. I'll give you a couple examples up there. One shows a kid seeing a teacher's passion and then following their own passion as a result. Another shows empowering a student's voice, and then that student leading and inspiring others. I'm proud to say some of the success stories you see on this slide mirror some of my own students' success stories. For instance, Liz is here tonight. Liz was on student council, and as her advisor, along with Janie Wilkins, who's also here tonight, we worked on placing the students in leadership positions to help them grow. Liz was a wonderful leader in high school, and now she serves as a legislative aide in Jeff City, and I have no doubt her sphere of influence will continue to grow. Caitlin is also here tonight. What's cool about Caitlin's story is she came to my school wanting to challenge herself in AP courses, but knowing she'd need some extra support to be successful. Caitlin took my AP Foundations class as a student and saw success, and so this year she decided to become a tutor for that class, helping others the same way she was helped. Caitlin also promoted this course at a board meeting where she conquered a big fear and spoke in front of a room full of people. I also want to mention Emily tonight. Emily was a student in my English class, and now she has been teaching English in her own classroom for 7 years and has been a positive role model for thousands of kids and teachers so far. And there's Jordan. And Jordan was mentioned before, who was a student and now is a colleague. I was fortunate to hire Jordan. In 2017, she was named a Rising Star, a national award for young journalism teachers. Amelia's here too. Amelia is an unbelievable student and friend. Amelia's goal is to be an orthopedic surgeon where she will help heal bodies after injuries. What this graphic shows is the many ways a teacher can have a lasting impact on a student. What this graphic doesn't show, though, is as important as what it does. My question is, how did the teacher get into and stay in the profession in order to impact students in the first place? In a room full of many teachers, I think we can all agree we need quite a support team to be able to have the knowledge and energy to impact students. Though the names I mentioned tonight will be specific to my story, I know with the number of talented educators here, our stories must share similarities. Every teacher in this room probably has a person that they can point to for why they decided to become a teacher. Teaching is such a relational career. My story is no different, except I was blessed to live with the person who inspired me. My mom showed me a love for our profession, and she let me help her in many ways in her classroom, so I gained an interest in teaching as well. She just retired, as was mentioned, from Missouri Public Education after 40 years in the classroom. Thank you to my mom and those here tonight who inspired and continue to inspire teachers to go into our profession. Fast forward to middle school, awkward middle school, when I had a basketball coach and science teacher who became a role model and inspiration for me, Dawn Hahn. Don't worry, I left the middle school photo of us back in 1992. You're welcome. She had high standards, she pushed us in the classroom and on the court, and she lovingly guided us through a weird phase of life. After finishing college, Dawn helped me get hired as an English teacher and as her assistant basketball coach, and thus began my career at Francis Howell North High School, working under the mentorship of the one who had been my mentor all along. Good teacher role models at a young age are crucial to encouraging others to join our profession, and I thank Dawn and all the other elementary and middle school teachers whose impact on students starts at a young age. Any teacher in this room knows the make or break moment that is student teaching. Thankfully, God knew I needed to be in Candy Holloway's room, and that's just where he put me. Candy taught me how to have fun in the classroom, how to get students to both love and respect you, how to make parent phone calls, and how to give good and timely feedback. And remember my student story from above, Emily, who teaches English? She's student taught with Candy too, and we all three still learn from each other and have a continued friendship. Thank you to Candy and all those here tonight who take the time and energy to mentor young teachers. Those of us in this room who work in buildings with excellent leadership know how thankful to feel for this gift. Supportive principals make the job of a teacher way more manageable. And I've been fortunate to work for principals who've invested in me, helped me grow in leadership, and looked out for both kids and teachers. Darlene Jones, Jack Amos, and Ed Gettemeyer were among the greats I was blessed to serve with. More recently, Andy Downs, Nathan Hostetler, and Katie Greer have inspired me through their devotion to kids, their love of our profession, and the hours of time they spend serving despite having young families at home. Thank you to my principals and all the principals here tonight for the work you do in our buildings each day. Building leadership is what helps establish the climate at work every day, but a supportive superintendent and a board are a difference maker in a teacher's lives too. You have tough decisions to make in the best interest of students and schools while trying to make teachers feel truly valued through your decisions. What a difficult and sometimes thankless job. Thank you to Dr. Mary Hendricks Harris and the Francis Howell School Board for the various ways you've supported me. And thank you to all school boards and superintendents here tonight for doing a job that requires you wearing so many different hats. One of the groups of people who know exactly the joys and heartaches of our career are the colleagues down the hall every day. I am so thankful to have a department full of supportive colleagues. These people, and a great group of colleagues outside of my department who are also here tonight, have shown me so much love and support, and these are the people who understand the ins and outs of our profession. We have celebrated and struggled together, both personally and professionally, and there's no group of people I'd rather work with. Thank you to every colleague here tonight who works just as hard and just as effectively as those of us being honored. Your support is invaluable. It's also important to have a network of people who know exactly what you do in the classroom each day, but also, and important to have a network of people who love and care about you no matter your successes or failures in the classroom. For me, this has been my church family and friends. Thank you to all the extended family and friends who came out tonight to support your loved ones. As all of my teacher friends here can attest to, teaching isn't a job that just happens in a school building during school hours. A lot of outside time, energy, and emotion go into teaching, and having a supportive family has been key for me. Michael, my best friend and supportive husband, has taken on a lot at home so that I can be away from home more because he loves me, but he also values promoting education. Thanks to my kids too. Elise, I envision you in your own classroom someday. Bennett, you love learning and are a wonderful, helpful kindergarten student this year. And Deacon, you are certainly going to be in charge of something someday. Thank you for the sacrifices you all have made in having me away and coming up to school for all sorts of events and in your love and support. Also, big thanks to my in-laws for raising an awesome man and for my mom for the practical support she offers when things are crazy and hectic. I know every educator here tonight realizes and wants our families to know there is no way we could tackle this career without your love and support, and we are so thankful. I'm also thankful to be in a room tonight full of people that I love the most, and I know this would not be possible without many organizers and planners. I'd like to give a big shout out to Linda Dooling and Nicole Myers for designing, planning, and orchestrating tonight's events. I'd also like to thank Boeing and Bayer for valuing education and putting resources towards celebrating teachers and the countless ways you support our profession. We hope to repay you by sending qualified students into your workplaces so they can serve the same way you have over the years. To our teacher associations, MNEA, MSTA, and AFT, thank you for the work you do to provide Missouri teachers with good working conditions, with fair compensation, and with benefits that help our families, which in turn gives students strong, valued teachers in their classrooms. To our State Board of Education, we appreciate the heart and expertise you bring to education in Missouri. We know you have invested many years combined in our school systems, and we are so grateful you agreed to take on an added leadership role to make sure Missouri students are part of great Missouri schools. To our Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, thank you for the decisions you make every day that impact our schools for the better. To Dr. Dorson, We are grateful for your guidance and the leadership you provide toward making sure Missouri students are in the very best possible schools. Legislators here tonight, thank you for ensuring schools are fully funded. I'd also like to thank the House and Senate Education Committees who work hard to examine many legislative improvements to our state education system throughout the year. Please also join me in re-recognizing a very special group of educators here, many of whom have already become my friends through the Teachers Academy. I'd like to congratulate the teachers, the Regional Teachers of the Year, along with their families, for the great work they are doing in classrooms across our state. They are so good for kids, and I would love if my own children were in any of their classrooms. To the other finalists, Julie, Amber, Elizabeth, Jean, Rhett, and Tobin, after hearing all the incredible work you are doing in your schools and communities, I am honored my name is even on a list with your names. I look forward to partnering with each of you in the coming months to see the ways we can support each other and our students across the state. Remember the graphic I showed you at the beginning about the long-lasting impact a teacher can have. If you have been impacted by a teacher at some point in your life, will you please stand for me? Thank you. You can be seated. But I'm going to make you stand again, I hope. Well, here's a second graphic that I think should go along with the first I showed you. The teacher is only capable of impacting students because of the support and encouragement each of you provide. If you fall under any category of people I mentioned tonight who have helped make a teacher's job just a little easier, will you please stand? Thank you. You can be seated. That's it, I promise. As you can see, looking around the room, it takes every single one of us to make a successful education system. So tonight, and for 2019, I am humbled and honored to get to serve as a voice for Missouri teachers in public education. And on behalf of all of the teachers across the state of Missouri, we wish to say thank you.